served in the United States Army.
Adrian Brammer, U.S. Air Force.
Mark Randolph Henry, United States Marine Corps.
Tom Williams, United States Navy, Iraq War, Combat Action, Lebanon, Navy Expeditionary Medal.
Monique Garucci, United States Army.
My name is Andrea D. Rich, Army veteran.
My name is Lonnie Rosenblum. I was in the Navy.
My name is Jonathan Jordan, and I was in the U.S. Army.
I, Adrian, do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies,
Foreign and domestic.
I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same.
And that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States.
And the orders of the officers appointed over me.
According to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice.
So help me God.
You know, it's a stereotype that all veterans look alike. They look just like everyday people because we are everyday people.
A veteran looks like me.
All different types of races and cultural, ethnic backgrounds.
A veteran could be anyone, any walk of life, any nationality, any race, anybody.
me.
You're looking at it. A veteran could be anybody walking down the street. The only thing that you might see that signifies a veteran being different is that they might hold their head a little higher, knowing that they've done a good job and they've served their country.
While a person's experience can vary on which branch they served in, the era in which they served is just as important. The Vietnam era still defines most Americans' understanding of war and military service. Because of this, we should be especially careful about how media, movies, and stories have shaped our perception and remember to connect with the individual when speaking with Vietnam veterans. The Persian Gulf era includes deployments in Operations Desert Shield and Desert Storm. The Persian Gulf era is defined by the shift to an all-volunteer force, the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy, and an increase in visibility for women serving in uniform. The post-9/11 era encompasses military service after September 11, 2001 through the present, and includes Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan, Operation Iraqi Freedom, and Operation Inherent Resolve against the Islamic State.
I served during the Vietnam War and in the Vietnam War. So what was unique was that males had to register for conscription, or the draft, by the time they turned age 18. That doesn't exist anymore. That ended around 1973. So it was, I guess, a rite of passage for most men that they would eventually serve in the military. Either they're drafted or they join.
There's several things unique about mine. Number one, it was not a draft, it was volunteer. Number two, there was mostly peacetime. The Iraq War was the first time the United States had been at war in like 20 or 30 years. So I went in with the expectation of training, serving my country, and getting a good education. The war that developed was a coincidence. I did my best to serve my country, but it wasn't my reason for joining. So I think that is a unique experience where others, once the war begins, they're drafted.
So what was unique about my era of service was that it was the first major conflict since Vietnam. And it was also the first one that the news could show in live time. So it had everybody back home very interested in it. There was a lot of patriotism. There were a lot of yellow ribbons on trees, and that was really different from, what my brother and sister veterans saw when we came back from Vietnam.
The uniqueness about my era of service, I feel like we were coming off of a time where women were earning their respect in the military, taking combat roles, becoming more hands-on in terms of war, and really making a name for ourselves, you know, as the trailblazers before us. But we were really forging ahead and becoming soldiers. We changed the game in the sense that a soldier was no longer just a male.
My era was pre and post 9/11.
I had the honor of serving under the leadership of the first Black president. So that was pretty unique for me, and was almost half the reason why I joined too, was to have that sense of pride behind my name. Also, I served during wartime, which it is still wartime going on right now, which things changed once hearing from veterans who served from peacetime, or my drill sergeants, them talking to me, and then actually getting out in real life, active duty life. Yeah, it's pretty unique.
Because active duty implies that you were doing this job 24/7, every day, all day, every day. Guard and reserve, they can be doing it all day, every day, but the norm is that they do it part-time. So when they're not doing their military job, they go back to work, and so that can be kind of a difficult transition.
Being that I was deployed to Iraq, I feel that active duty is trained differently because we're trained every day. So 7 days a week, we're training for deployment. Whereas the National Guard and the reserves, they're part-time. So I don't feel like they're trained as much as active duty is for deployment.
For me, it's just the time you spend dedicating yourself to the mission. Active duty, it's like your 9 to 5. The Guard and Reserves, your missions are just as equally important, but not with the same time requirements. It's all one and the same to me.